Perfect, perfect. All right, so let's make it. Let's start over. So, first of all, my name is Robert Perez. I am a head of a software team at LSU Dominicana. I have been learning English since 2006 until now. I'm 22 years old, and well, you're gonna get to know me a little bit better. I also want to introduce you to Cindy Castillo, who's just gonna be the co-host. So let's talk about
Yes.
yourself a bit.
Actually, I want to thanks for the invitations to be to host in this amazing project like called like names Hard Depths. For me, it's a very I feel very excited to be here. For real, you are an awesome team, and maybe also community. So thank you for your invitation and for telling me to make me part of this. Right. You are awesome guy, Robert. You have a lot of good experiences that we're going to share together a few minutes ago. So thank you to the opportunity. Right. Well, starting with me, just like you asked me before, I study business administration. That's my career, my principal career. And then I have a master degree in human resources. But obviously, I am a teacher. A language teacher for real. I have the opportunity to speak five languages, but mostly I think that English connect with other languages. That is the way. This is the first way, the first route to learn something other news that coming from another languages. Obviously, cultures, right? Because languages is about culture. When we speak a languages, we speak about culture. So, what do you think about that, Robert? Is culture about English? Is culture about different languages in the world? Thank you. You move your hand like you listen carefully, right?
Yeah, of course. So just getting to know a little bit of yourself and introduce and you introducing yourself into English. How would you describe your beginnings?
Well, by the beginners, I describe it like I was a child when I studied English. No, my decision was taken by my father. So I can tell you that my beginnings, that was my parents' decision. That's a bit reality that all the people, all the young people, or maybe the adult people that actually coming from the 80s, 90s, just like that. But first of all, when I finished English, that was in 2006, when I in um, my school, my high school, that's it. I continued learning myself English. I saw different ways. I found different ways to improve my English skill. When I finished, but let me tell you something. I passed for different institutes during my childhood. For example, I remember that I passed for around four institutes here in New York. Yes, and
Hmm.
at the end, I finished at the Dominican American. I took a level test and then we started on advanced level, my brother and I. And then I still continue to study English. Then I wake up inside myself and study another languages because I consider that English was the open door to learn another language. I think that was the best path to learn another languages, the English. I consider that. But the mostly then when I finish, I continue doing things related with that, like watching movies, like listen carefully songs, like read books. So people actually do not like to do that because they consider that's bored for a lot of people. But I prefer to say the truth. It is bored. But even that you need to have the right motivation to do that. It's not only read a book, it's to interpret the book. Maybe it's not listen to the song. Maybe you need to interpret the song just like that. It's not open. No, it's not only see the series or the movies with subtitles in English, for example. It's interpreted then. So the interpretation is a right way to learn more or improve your English skill because speak, maybe translate is not the right way for me. Maybe we need to actually when we speak Spanish in our country, like a maternal English for example, like a maternal Spanish for example, we do
Yes.
not translate Spanish. We do not,
Hmm.
we need to interpret things. That's the way. When I speak French, for example, with Asian people, and right now when I learn Creole or maybe Mandarin, that's it. I interpret them, so I understand mostly right now with interpretation techniques, that translation techniques. So, what do you think about that? Can you give me your personal opinion about those things that I said to you?
Yeah, I personally think that you learn the language when you are around that language. I don't know if you get me somehow.
Yes, I
Uh,
got you.
for me, learning English was more like trying to understand what was behind uh, the page, the book, the TV show, the song. And I
Yes,
was trying to put things in context and always being on in a point of learning and being tough on people correcting me many times. Uh, before I move on, Edward, do I think we aren't able to we aren't able to activate the audio, but if you have any comments, I we would love you to write it down so we can have it in consideration and also um, get to talk a little bit more about it.
I'm agree with
Or
Robert.
sorry.
No, no, I'm agree with you.
Yeah. So it is important for you to write down your notes so we can have it into consideration. You have to understand we are making this new dynamic and we're gonna be learning from you and from all these podcasts we'll be doing. And we will see what is best for us in order to all be involved and participate. So as I
Yes,
was
and we
saying,
have.
uh-huh.
I'm sorry. Yes, we have. We're going to have the chance to read all the comments to let you know what maybe a course can you give to us. So your opinion is going to be is going to take very important for us. So you can do it as well. Right.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
podcast is for you. It's for all of you. You feel welcome in this.
Exactly. Thank you. So as I was saying, I was really surrounded by English language, and somehow I like it because music. It was because music. By then, I was listening to "Never Say Never" by Justin Bieber, Chris Brown. Yeah, those
Don't
were
tell me. Don't tell me that. Justin
my
Bieber, you,
my
Mr. Bieber.
yes,
Don't
yes,
be.
yes.
Don't be.
No,
Don't say that in public, please.
no,
You
that,
are
that
a awesome guy. Remember, you are a
I'm
young
being
guy.
I'm being honest. That was my first approach. It
I
was
was.
baby. Ah!
What about the Titanic? Like,
Uh,
what?
no, no,
Okay, no, you're not a guy. Okay, I'm sorry. You're not a guy.
but
You're not a guy.
Adele,
No. Oh,
Rihanna,
amazing. Amazing. Continue.
uh, who else? Drake,
What
but
about Eminem?
not Drake
Nice,
now.
great.
Drake back then.
Ah,
Uh,
they were okay. Eminem
and
by now. Yes, because Eminem by
yeah,
the
there's a difference. Drake in
yes,
the past is not the same as now.
that is.
And who else? Eminem, no, but Lil Wayne for sure. Uh,
Well,
but
Lil
yeah,
Wayne, Akon. What about
Akon,
Akon?
yeah, Akon, yeah.
Yeah,
Lonely,
yeah.
I
I
still
just feel
lonely.
lonely. I have nobody. Finish.
All on my own. All right, so yeah, that was part of it. That was part of my childhood. That's where I grew up with. I remember. Look, it was kind of more of my mom thing, and I started loving it because what happened was, um, my mom used to take me as a young kid. I'm gonna say about 5, 4, 5, 6 into pre-teen classes.
Education.
Yeah, like
Yes.
computer science, um,
Yes.
like
Just like
languages and
everybody.
stuff. So I remember that when I was 6 years old, my 6 years old birthday was to get in to get into an English class, and I
Oh
started
my
loving
God.
English since then. And I studied every. Uh, Actually, my Saturdays were just English. I had my full 5 days of school, and then I had on Saturdays since 8 to like 12 straight, just Saturdays of English, Saturdays of English,
Well,
Saturdays of English.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to tell you something. I think that our parents think they have the same idea because I have the same ideas of your parents. They put me in different kind of courses, like a music, like a paint, like a ballet, like a dance, like a whatever art that they consider. So they consider that all those things where they put me to wake up inside myself, English. They consider that all those things when they speak to me and my brother too, they believe that one of them going to wake up inside of me. Maybe the other of them going to be my focus for the future, like be a great dancer in ballet, like a great painting, for example, or maybe that could be an excellent teacher, just like am I, for example, and like I love to for real. Or maybe a good painter, a famous painter. I don't know what was the trick of my parents. That's what I told you. The first beginning of my English was a parent decision. But after that, they wake inside of me what is the right way, the right path that I need to take into my life. So I am 33 years old right now, and I feel amazing that I feel blessed to try this path that give me a lot of opportunities. And even I practice my own career, like recruitment, for example, or maybe for the place for the late or different actions to help people for the human resources area, for example. What teaching is amazing. It's the best part, like connect with students and motivate them that they can feel. Actually, my own purpose with the students, with my students especially, is
Mhm.
to first of all wake up inside of them something like a motivation. We need to schools in here in the art needs to let them know to the students that they are important persons, that they are capable to do whatever things that they decide to choose for their lives. Because here only go to school, you go into the room, the classroom. So they don't have a motivation. They don't have a person, a teacher that they can say you can do it. You are a star. You are the best. You can do this and more because you are capable of whatever. So you have the power inside of you. Remember, you are a star. You shine like a star. So I teach. I said to my students that I teach motivational English. That's what I teach for my students, motivational English. So I motivate them how to learn English, but not obviously I need to teach them grammar, vocabularies, and reading comprehension. We touch every part of skills of English, but the motivation of English is the best part and the biggest part that we need to touch. But in New York, I think that there are not teachers just like me. I consider that. That's my personal opinion. I don't know what other persons could possibly say about that. But do you feel motivated to English when you speak English like you do right now? You feel motivated to speak English, or maybe you feel motivated English because of your area, like have development, maybe just like that. A question for you.
Yeah. Well, you are getting along with what Edward said in the chat. That it is something that you gotta to pat yourself on the back and say, hey, you're doing okay, you're doing great. And it is good to have people that wants the best for you in case of our parents with letting us the opportunity to learn English. Just as an just letting you know, like my brother, I have a younger brother, 2 years younger, and he had the same opportunity as me, but he didn't get interest into English language until now that he is an adult. But I learned since I was a kid, and I kept learning, and I'm gonna tell you just in about a few minutes my Sankey Panky story. But yeah, because I have a Sankey Panky story. I have to.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Robert, but you look like Denzel Washington. You are a good guy. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you, thank
Did
you,
I
thank
touch
you.
your self-esteem?
Yeah, but actually, that was my way. That was my way. Actually, I want to make a little pause, and I want to um, bring the opportunity to the audience to put in the chat, how do you learn English? I think it is good to know that doesn't matter what was your beginning, as long as you are interested into learning English, you will be able to make it somehow. Sometimes it's with the music, sometimes with the videos, sometimes talking with people, sometimes doing Sankey Panky like I did. So I want to know how do you start learning English? That could be helpful for us to learn that there's no limits. Ah,
Uh,
all right.
something, somebody recommends you something. Thank you stories about yourself. So in another podcast episode, I consider we need to talk about your thank you story. If you
Yeah,
allow us, and maybe if the host, principal host consider that, because we are some kind of manner to manage this, and
yeah,
we
yeah.
actually work doing this for take this into your life with a good purpose, like a creative podcast with a purpose, with the right purpose to learn, to improve, to know about you, how do you learn English, and obviously see your chats. And I want to tell you something, Robert. I read all the comments that coming from the chat are amazing. Thank you for your participation, for the people and Alejandro, oh my God, and obviously Edward. I love the comment of Edward. Very, very interesting, very profound, very depth, very deep. It's for real, Edward. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah. An important thing that Alejandro mentioned is the talk to native. I think that's one of the fastest way to learn English.
Okay, talk to me.
That's because they know better what they say than us, who hasn't the language the English language native. They know better
Okay.
how you can improve the accent, the pronunciation, the grammar, and all of these things. When you are like all the time on it, it forces you to to be like them, because you are the people that you're surrounded with. If you're
Yes.
surrounded with people who are actually dominating the language, you gotta do it. And that's not
Yes.
just in languages, that's in life.
Okay.
There's a quote from I think Napoleon Hill, who mentions, or their county. I have to find it out. That mentions that you are the five person you surround with. If the five person you surround with talking English, you're gonna talk in English. It's just about time. I
And
don't know
that
if
is
you
your,
want to add something.
for you, is that a right technique to improve our English skills? Maybe for a beginning one, maybe for an advanced one, or maybe for an intermediate one. That's a good technique that you can suggest and maybe give as an advice for a person.
Yes.
Did you copy me?
Yes. Can you repeat that?
Yes, I told you if that kind of technique that you explained, remember the five person that you have around, and you can maybe get from them acknowledgement. That's a good way to improve your English, to have to find people who obviously speak only in English. That's a good technique that you suggest, that you give an advice for a person that wants to improve, like a basic, like an intermediate, like advanced level, for
Uh,
example.
I think that can start just from the beginning. As
Okay.
Alejandro says, you have to take risk. There's a lot of people who is afraid to to say hi, and hi is just the
Yes.
beginning. Because if you know how to say hi, and there's a native people who answers you back and say, hey, how are you, and you don't know what means how are you, then that's a new learning word and what it means, and why did she say that, because I say hi. And there's, look, I have my way, but actually, mm, my way is not the absolute. It's not the final and the only statement. There are many ways to learn. There are people who have learned from Duolingo, and I think that's, in my personal opinion, I don't think that is a good platform. But there are people who have learned from Duolingo. An example of that is my mom. My mom took classes of English, none of them work. Start Duolingo, somehow, bam, she knows English. She knows English, and
From Duolingo.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It doesn't make
Okay.
sense for me, but she did, and that there's not a right way to learn. As long as you're being consistent, doing it over and over and over and over and over again, and practicing. That's it. You do those two, and you're gonna learn somehow to say whatever. There are people who have moved to uh, United States. They don't know any English, and I don't know if you have heard the Tico Tree. They somehow have
Yes.
to adapt.
Yes.
They have to say something. They have to communicate, and that's something that you have to get the purpose first. You need to know that I want to learn English, and I'll do anything to learn English. And I'm really happy that there are people here in this community who actually find this spot to just listen, to pay attention, to know what they can get, what they can learn, what they can use,
Yes,
what
it
they
is.
can collaborate, because that's not something just between you, me, our devs. No, that means that we are all gonna get involved at some point. Thanks to God, we have the opportunity to our boss, Stacy Balbi. eh, but actually, it's just, this is a platform for us to grow. There are some people who have that has advantage, and there are some people that just need to be that needs to receive a push up, that needs to be moved forward uh, in order to learn English.
Even let me I'm sorry to introduce you. I'm so sorry, Robert. I don't want to interrupt you. So
Go
I
ahead.
just want to say something. Thank you very much. I just want to say that I'm very agree of everything that you said because this is a very platform for each of you that you want to. If you want to improve your English, we are here for you. And let me tell you something special, like coming from the psychology part. Remember, people in here who's going to listen, who are listening us right now. So there are different ways to learn English, and nobody learn English in the same way. There are different ways to learn. Remember, there are people who like to learn things like a cushion way, like other likes to learn like a as the new way, something like a listen way, something like a speaking way, and there are another ways like the human body have for us uh, to to learn things. There are a lot of people who actually learn like a painting, like a writing books, for example, or something like that, like a writing way. So if you are one of those persons that could possibly learn in a different way, please do not feel afraid to listen us because this amazing space created for each of you is that the reason we're going to learn you how to improve your English, no matter the way, no matter the part of your body that you are using with. So please be honest with us, be comfortable with us, do not be afraid. We are here to help you to improve your English. So because when I learn English, I like to learn. Let me tell you, I recognize in an early age, for example, like I like to learn English by the reading way. And after that, I recognize that I'm reading after the reading. I like to read things by the writing way. So I read mostly, first of all, reading and then the writing way. So if I can recognize the way that I can learn English, so that's going to be 1 point to you. So congratulations for that. So after that, you can improve. You can learn not only a language, you can learn different things that you want to because you are a star. You can do whatever you want into your life. So right now, remember, have this podcast is your actually safety place for you. And don't be, I remember, I repeat for you again, this, don't be afraid. You are a star. We are a star, so we shine us. Shine with us, please, if you can. Continue, Robert. I'm sorry. We don't listen to you, Robert. You have yes, that's it.
I just wanted to say that I like your way. You said that you're a teacher, right?
Yes, I am.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I get totally the vibes. I I'm gonna say something about that thing about being an English teacher in just a few minutes.
Yes.
Stacy, just to confirm, the Saki Banki episode is gonna be now or is gonna be the next one? I don't know. Let me
No
know.
worries.
Next one.
Yes, yes, yes. No worries.
All right. So next episode is gonna be the Saki Banki. Sorry, guys. Uh, I have
I
to
want, and I
elaborate
feel
that.
excited to hear about that. I want to see how Denzel Washington conquer the world in the Dominican wars, maybe American wars, and maybe Russian wars, and something like that. Oh my God, how many women do you think if I
Yeah,
can do?
I, I think part of the of
Oh my
having it
God.
by next week is because I have to prepare. I think that I have to show you a few pictures so you can believe what I'm saying because normally people it's normal to judge the end. It's normal to think, oh, you know English, but no, there's a beginning. There are situations that put you to learn. I'm just a result of keep practicing English since I was 6 years old, and now I'm 22. So I have been literally all over my life, a vast majority of my life, learning English or being around English environment.
Okay, so Sometimes people, I want to tell you, in the follow way that you speak, uh, people are afraid, just like you say, to say hi. Let me tell you something about, there are people who are shy, but we have actually anxiety problem in this whole world from the people. The anxiety is one of the biggest problems that we need to work with in an early age, something like that. And there are people that close from the beginning when they don't get the right help, and maybe when they receive from the environment or students like some kind of maybe bad comments for the classmate, for example, or maybe they try or the other person tried to let you put you down, your self-esteem. So how can I don't remember the word right now, but that is when people do not help you and you feel like strange in the classroom, for example, so that grows inside of you too much. Thus, I don't remember the word. Can you help me, Robert, for example, when a person, for example, do not feel comfortable in a place and receive a lot of bad comments from around the other guys, and that person grows, and feel like and though nobody else is a friend of him, is a person who possibly help, even that person do not feel confident with the teacher, for example. I think that I don't remember the word. Maybe it's like I think I didn't remember the word, but sometimes we need to work on that. And just like I am, like a teacher, I need to create a confident environment first, and then I need to let them know that they can do it now. And at the third, for example, we can teach English. But first of all, we need to motivate the guys. We need we need to take risks, just like our participants said to us. We need to let them know not only that they can do it, it's just to improve. One student, for example, today I have experience. I can share this experience with you very in a short moment. For example, I'm coming from my teaching classes when I started. I was explaining, we divide the class into grammar and into listen and write. So I was practice with the report speech. That's a bit strong grammar for an advanced level in English. And if you don't have the right way to explain with the right motivation, you can maybe don't help the kind students and they pass into another level with a lot of doubt. So we need to let them know and we need to help them, like send them some exercises, do some researches about that subject. So in my case, for example, I take my time with my students until they get the point to that subject. So report speech is something that you report, that you re repeat for somebody else to use, something that you need to repeat, re-repeat for somebody that told you. So Robert told me, Robert says, Robert did, Robert, and we need to change those into the right verse tense. So those rules we need to know, but it's not only to know, we need to let them know the right in the right way. Remember, I just told you before, nobody learns at the same way. So there are different ways. So I have a student who learn writing. So then I use in the right way. You got another that I like to listen. And they close to me. Teacher, I want to ask you something. Can I improve this? Can I do this exercise? Can you give me an advice? Can you? Well, I answer all those questions because I'm there for them. I'm there for them. I'm the teacher. I'm the right way. And then if they decide to close to me, they decide to come to me to ask me that because they have to feel comfortable with me and with my answers too. So it is amazing. But report speech, remember. And I told you, and I repeat it, and I do exercises, and I learn them. So at the end, I receive a right positive comment. Teacher, we are learning. Today was a great class. I feel comfortable with you. I love this class. So those comments makes you happy as a teacher. I received a lot of those comments, right? Because that coming from a good student, and I did. avoid positive change for my society, my Dominican young society that needs help, not only in English, in principle, their motivation the way. That's it.
There's there's no better words to put it. Actually, you have cover all, and I like the way because you don't just deal with yourself like I do. You deal with people who actually struggle to learn English, and you have to learn their way. And I'm just amazed of the amazing work you're doing, and it's not easy. It's not easy. Um, I'm astonished actually. But just
Are
like
you?
yeah,
Are you?
yeah. I'm surprised. Like it's
You you are full of surprises, my friend.
yes, it is because you have a story. You know what people are dealing with. People think that well, English is just about a language, and it's not just like that. It's something about you developing. It's you into a new environment, into a new place where you don't know anything, and you have to start over from zero, and you have to start getting your mind ready to get the language. And sometimes it's not as straightforward as we would like to. It has many upside downs and many ways, and it takes time. And for
Yes.
you as a teacher to understand your students, I don't know how to say it. Like for real, it's too much, and I really admire you. Uh,
Actually, let me tell you something, bro. It's something that comes with love. We need to do things with love. Even you, I know that you are a software development. I consider that. I recruited. Let me tell you that one of my job was recruitment as a human resource area. And when I see a lot of software development applied for different companies inside and outside and abroad our countries, for example, and when they decide to apply, and which actually tell to those guys we actually need a B2 or a C1 as a level to continue with the process. They say, "Oh my God, I don't have those. I don't have that kind of level. I can even say I can even go to what B1 or maybe possibly I can try to get a B2." But most of the company, for example, that I recruited a lot of software development for all over the world,
wait,
all over the world.
hold on. Cindy, you said that you recruit software developers, right?
Yes, it was. It was one of my words, my jobs in the past, for
So why
example.
don't you give me a job?
Oh, I will do it. I will do it over.
So now you know, guys.
After I heard your story of Sankey Punky, that's it. That's going to
Okay,
that's an agreement. That's an agreement. If you told me your story of Sankey Punky, I would get you a good job inside abroad of the country, right?
okay. I want
What
to.
amazing. Okay, okay, okay. I will
Great.
borrow you in privately to continue with this process, just either way. So,
Okay.
focus on that. I help them, and maybe they take send them some kind of test. There are a lot of tests on internet that you can do to let you know how much or how are the skills that you have in low level or the high level. We can know, for example, the EFE. That's another a US page, for example, that needs the Cambridge test from the University of Cambridge. That's it. It's connected with this
Mhm.
kind of test. Yes. And you can improve. There are two types of tests. There are one that is for 90 minutes. That's 1 hour and a half. I consider. And there are another that is 15 minutes. That's maybe less than an hour. But those, and more specific, these tests, for example, it lets you know that what is the best part that you have developed the most, that the other areas, like the reading, like the listening, like the writing, like speaking. Wait, but let me tell you something. A lot of people like to trust in those tests, and when they get a bad no, they feel anxious for those no. They feel anxious. And let me tell you something. I already said that anxiety is one of the biggest problems that I find for all over candidates, not only for software development, because I work in another areas related with recruitment. But I don't know why the people want to get everything for their life. And they see, let me tell you something, I went to see this, and I know that it's going to be recorded, but English is not, we don't need to think English just like money. Okay, we don't need to see the languages as a money because languages, first of all, is culture, people. We need to think that first. We need to recognize that first. And then we're going to find with the culture, we're going to connect with the right ways, with the right companies to connect. But we need to speak about culture. And everything that you learn from English skills is about culture. When you read something, it's culture that coming from those guys. Some tests coming from that. So you need to be positive. When you start studying English, when you begin to study a new languages, you need to be positive away. And no matter what, you need to be, you are in the best way. That's a good phrase. I am in the right way. So I'm going to improve the best way of myself. And then you get it. You get what you want. It's talking to you in a positive way. Right. But there are a lot of people who speak to themselves in a negative way and don't love themselves. So as I begin with this comment, we need to do everything with love. If you're working for a company, do it with love. If you speak English, do it with love. So as a teacher that I love what I do, first of all, because I recognize it from the beginning that this is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I teach. Something like that. Even that I have voluntary experience with another companies because I have experience with working as a volunteer. That's a good area. So I learned about that. I work in English, for example, as a Maxwell team. I work with that kind of group, and they're only speaking English. And I was interpreter. I participated once as an interpreter of one of the programs that they have in here in the art. Was an amazing. So, oh my God, speak English is more than the culture. And those people that coming to me, they're coming from different parts of state in the United States. They're coming from Pennsylvania, from Boston, from New York, and speaking with them about their culture is amazing. So English is not money. Languages is not money. Languages is more than money. So what do you think about that, Robert? Do you think that learn English is money or is culture? What is your personal opinion? For real, tell me the truth.
Well, my first job was as a teacher. No, sorry, was in a call center. 17 years old. So somehow it was money. And I was tough that if I was able to learn two languages or three, I was going to be able to get more opportunities than normal people. And when you get that into your mind, you might think, yeah, English is money. But
Mm-hmm.
it's what, at the end of the day, it's what you're saying. In general, all the things, including language, uh, they have a purpose beyond the surface. And sometimes it is the reason why you're learning English, uh, why it is so important to you, why you want to keep learning it. Uh, why that language and not another. For example, Chinese Mandarin is the most spoken one, if I'm not mistaken. So why not Mandarin? Why it has to be English? And I think it is it's not just culture; it's more of a lifestyle, because
Okay.
it has the English language. It has expanded to many ways that actually I cannot understand. Uh, when I was a kid, a preteen, learn English was something huge. It was something wow. It was something barely few people could do it. But actually, nowadays, there are a lot of people who are learning English. I actually, everyone I know knows a little bit of English. If none, they if I'm not mistaken, or they know more,
Yes,
because
they are.
yeah, and it's so easy now to learn. Sorry for that. It is recording. Okay. Um, it is so easy to have conversations between pals because they know English too, than do it when I was a teenager when I had nobody to do it. And we have some type of appropriation of belonging of this language. So it's not just something of a culture. It's more of, for me, it's more like an opportunity, a lifestyle, and a something that you keep for the rest of your life, either if it's for a job, travel, or whatever. It is not something about because culture is something of where you are. But what I'm saying is English, you bring it with you
Yes.
everywhere.
No, no, and actually, I consider that I'm agree with you. I consider that English is more than that. But when I have, for example, a classroom of around, like I always have. Let me tell you the truth. I always have in a classroom around 35 to 40 students, for example, and
Wow.
each of them, yes, a lot, different places when I got the chance to work, and not only English. For example, when I have the chance to teach Spanish, for example, and I teach Spanish to yes,
What are the ages?
to another kind of people that live in here, like Asians, like Americans, like Japanese too. The right way to communicate with them is in English. Maybe differently to the Asian because they speak Creole or French. I can communicate with them when I teach them Spanish. But the other guys, like a Japanese, Chinese, or
Mhm.
maybe Italian, or maybe another person that I have the chance to learn Spanish, the only way to speak with them is going to be in English. So, teacher, okay, speak Spanish. Yes, I speak to them into Spanish way from the beginning. But in another case, how, for example, teacher explaining about the verb to be into Spanish way. Okay, the verb to be into Spanish way is very different. You have a lot of different from the English languages because it's a very strange. Remember, the Spanish one is it's a new language for you, and you're not a native. You're not a native from that language. You're going to have difficult to learn, just like us, because we are not native. We are not Americans. We are not U.S. Americans or native from U.S. or from Canada or from the other countries like England or some other places when matter the people actually speak them, from the beginning, from when they are born. But us, our languages actually is not Spanish. We only have a slang. Let me tell you the truth. in the Dominican Republic, we speak a slang of Spanish because our Spanish come from Spain. The principal Spanish come from Spain. And when I learn Spanish, I need to take the origin from the Spanish. What is the origin of Spanish? Spain. So that's it. That's the right way. What is the origin of English? US. So they need to learn how to speak or maybe how to learn English from the USA, like something like that. We belong to American continent. That's it. We need to know that. And we don't want. I'm not going. I cannot learn from an England English because it's very different. Sometimes I speak like a pretty in here, but they speak
Mhm.
there pretty. So the pronunciation is very different. Like water in here, we see the T as a R, water, and they say water. So are different, but it's the same meaning. It's the same object. It's the same way, but the pronunciation, the right way to learn, is different. So we need to learn how in this country the people are speaking. So in this case, I want to tell you that in our country, DR, and I consider that in other countries too, uh, there are really need. There are a really need in learning in a young guys that want to learn English in here in the other. There are a big community that need to learn English, and they actually do not have the resources, the way. For example, we have the immersion programs. I can explain that. I can mention that because I have experience there sometimes working or maybe substitute teacher there. So they start speaking for the level one, for example.
Mhm.
And when I work for the WAS, that's another way to teach. For example, level one and two, we don't speak English as well. So I speak a few English for level one and level two at the WAS, but for immersion program, they have another rules. So English, speak English, starting speak English. There are a big necessity here. Maybe you don't have the right way. Maybe you don't find the person who gives you the opportunity. But there are a big community here in New York that needs to speak English. And I'm agree with what you said before, that everybody knows something from English, for real. And all the person, all the young, all the adult person start English to get or to into a call center because they consider that that's one of the jobs that they have the best payment in the country. And it is true. It is true. But I want the people. That's what I said to my students. For example, I said, if you stay, for example, I teach you something. If I teach you something, if you translate, you're going to stay only in translation, but you cannot understand as well because you interpret it. You don't like to interpret these things. So if you do not learn the right way for interpretation and stay in the hello.
Keep going, keep going.
Okay. If you, for example, stay of the translation way, you cannot learn something new from your English. So you need to interpret it. You need to use the interpretation techniques for understand things. When you're reading an article in English for a newspaper or a new whatever way on English, for example, on the website. So you read something and you keep your mind. You feel like you don't understand nothing at all. So you don't use the right way to interpret these things. Let me tell you something. Most of the articles that are written are written in English have a very bad humor or a black humor inside. I don't know if you understand black humor. It's like some kind of humor with another sense, not the right sense that the context should have, but they use that kind of way to communicate things. But you need to interpret it. For example, it's something like make jokes, and you don't know how to make jokes, and you don't like to make jokes. But that person like to make jokes, and that person like to make jokes to you, and that joking a lot to you, but you don't like joking with that person. So it's like it's something like that. You know, an
Mhm.
article with kind of jogging. But if you don't have the right, if you don't use the right technique, if you only keep on your mind in translation, 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 or don't use the right way, like use, for example, looking for antonyms or synonyms, or what can I tell you, like dictionary English, for example, not English Spanish. I can, let me tell you, I suggest to my beginner students looking for one or buy for one, just for the beginning, but an advanced using an English dictionary, or maybe looking for antonyms or synonyms right, and use the interpretation techniques. But only that, that's the right way. That's my opinion. You know,
Yeah, you're right in know what you have said, and it's just you just understand, interpretate. You say a lot, interpretate, and that's one of the things that you should keep actually in mind. The why I say hi, why not hello? You know, hello is because it's formal,
yes,
hi is because
yes.
it's informal, and those things when you apply to a language, it's actually just it helps you definitely in many ways. Well, guys, I think
We
Cindy
are
that
running out
we
of
are
time.
running out of time, and I think that was pretty fun to talk to you and to get a little to get to know you a little bit better. To also have this amazing participation of Edward, Alejandro, Ener. Uh, wow, it is for a
A lot of
first chapter.
persons.
It was really good, and we're looking forward to make it better in the next episode with the Sankey Panky uh, story. So I
And
think
remember our agreement. If you say that, I will give you the opportunity to get a better job in another. But I want you hear first your psychopathic story, right?
yeah, but
Every detail. Do not
okay,
miss nothing at all. Okay.
but
Thank you.
actually, I want to make you a better offer. I want you to not just me, but you have to get one or two more job positions, more vacants.
Seconds, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
to the to here to the team, so we can
Perfect.
also help them out.
I'm yours. I'm all yours. I'm all yours, and I'm all yours. Right. I belong to the heart that's committed, and I feel awesome. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you, Robert. You're an amazing locutor, and you speak a very excellent English. So that's the right way. So, oh my God, we're running of one 1 minute left of time. I think that Bobby going to kill us. I think so.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But really, thank you so much, and let's go, guys. Have a nice one.
Bye bye, guys.